Welcome, Kane's Corner, episode 4. I'm pretty sure. What a day! Interesting day. Not late, Pat. Come on, right on time. I got the timer perfect, right in there. We got a special guest today, John and Warren. I'm going to bring him on. So let's get him in here.
Hello,
John.
Kane.
Welcome. It's late.
Thank you. This
Thanks
is
for coming on.
my debut on the Menners network, so that's exciting.
Didn't you go on with Menners? What, not a
Oh,
network?
you're
Technically.
right. No, you know what?
You did.
You were right. I'm
did
wrong.
that interview. That was
yeah.
You held in good. He tried to take you down, but you held on.
The other thing I'll say is we were supposed to do this last week. I don't think I got back to you, so I owe you an apology.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. I thought maybe, Pat got in your head and was like, don't go on with this guy. Teach him a lesson, You never know where it's going to go. So what happened anyway? Just busy? Family stuff?
Yeah, it's tough for me to get everything done in like the 9 to 5 window. So I've been working late at night. So anytime I do anything other than like sit in front of my computer, I'm always just pushing everything off to the next day.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I just I let some stuff get to me, and I didn't feel like doing anything. We didn't do drips last week either.
I know. I would have said if you came out with me and didn't do drips, that would have been very not good. Not good for the the brand, because I don't think Pat would have enjoyed that. But I asked Pat about it. I sent him something, and he took it and he was like, no, stop bothering me. Basically, Kane, you're a piece of shit. And I was like, all right, I get it. So I guess I didn't want to pry in because I don't know if it was family stuff, of course. But thank you for coming on, John. I appreciate it.
Dying to come on this show. That's what he's been telling me privately. Yeah.
Pat had some kind of day today. Can we just talk about that? What a fucking day. He started off by posting that little clip of Steve's podcast, and that just took off for about a half a day. Guy's the man. I told him, I wrote to him, he's the master. He's the likes king at this right now. He's getting hundreds of likes every tweet, it seems, these days. And what do you think about your partner today? That little is the basketball game going to happen? I guess that's what we should ask.
I think I still think that there's a chance that this basketball game happens. Like I'm number one, I'm holding out hope, and two, I don't think Steve can stay away. Like he went away. I don't know if you saw it right before we went live. He's back.
Wow, he came back on.
He's back. So you never know with him.
The weirdest guy in the business, crazy guy.
I know. And speaking of Pat's tweet, he had that. It was I think it was 8 seconds. It was an 8-second clip that he posted. I don't know if it was AI or whatever it was.
I know.
But I will tell you this, Kane. I got a DM from Steve from Gloucester, and he said, I actually hate to spill DMs, but I have to now. He said, John, it's something to this effect. I'm not going to get it right, but it was like, John, if that was you in Pat's video doing my impression, I want to let you know that like this is serious for me and it's not funny, blah blah blah. It wasn't me, so I just want to clear the air right now.
Get that out there, yeah. Steve's taking it pretty personal. He was taking some shots, and I saw Cinema odds get very serious. Jesus, Cinema, he's really mad at this guy. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the basketball game. I think we need an audience. I think it would be just fun to watch. And I don't think Steve will win. I mean, I know it's just joking with Pat, but Pat's a little younger, a little more nimble, and I just think it'd be a dominant victory for Pat. But hey, I'll be there to watch if it goes on for
what
sure.
Think about Steve's Cobra Kai bandana line towards Pat?
Some good lines today. Yeah, I liked it. They had some. I heard a few good lines today. There's a lot of people chirping in. So exciting for Pat, who didn't do much. Didn't seem, it was a lot. It just didn't seem like it was going to turn into this. But what a day!
What's your overall take on the Steve from Gloucester situation?
I love Steve, so it's tough. I don't understand. I can't imagine being this sensitive about anything. So I guess I can't wrap my mind around it. But the more you do this and let people get to you like this, the more they're just going to do it. So I say own it, step into it. Obviously, you want to go back on the show. Obviously, Kirk's playing footsies and wants you back on the show. I saw a lot of people today saying like Steve's not going to go back on. If the show continues, Steve will definitely be in there eventually. In my opinion. So I just think he needs to just relax, Steve. Just have fun with it. Stop going back and forth. But I think it's just who he is. He just can't help it. It's like asking Mick not to walk out of studio. It's just going to happen. So,
yeah, I think I don't care when people say, "Oh, you don't get the show," or "This person doesn't get the show." I don't really try to fall into that trap because I'm sure people listen to the show for different reasons and they might enjoy one part of the show that I don't or whatever. But one thing is like there's a difference between not getting the show and not getting, I think, the world.
Mm-hmm.
And with the KMS world, you're a joke. I'm a joke.
Exactly.
Everyone's a target. So if everyone's a target, anyone can get it at any time. So you can't play the victim and then take everything so serious because, dude, you take a step back, they're kidding. Like, sure, they're taking shots at you and they might feel personal, but at the end of the day, no one hates you.
Unless you're cinema lawyers. I think cinema really hates them.
Well, listen, I know. It's a lawyer situation. I can't speak on that.
But you're right. You're right. I mean, I don't take any of it personal unless, people call you and say they're going to come by your house, I guess. But, other than that, it's all fair game. And he doesn't handle it well. It's my big criticism of Steve. He just doesn't handle pressure situations well. That's why I don't think he's going to win that basketball. He's not a pressure guy. When the pressure builds, he kind of folds. So I don't know, but so I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you, John, I guess I really enjoy your show. I've told you that. I think pound for pound is the best show on the network. I'm kind of trying to just, I would, because how I think about my own show, but what's the weekly kind of breakdown of how you look at your show? You come with a lot of topics. You guys actually talk about a lot in that hour. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, do you think about it all week? Do you put it together as you go? Do you and Pat kind of converse? Can you bring us behind the curtain if you may?
I would say when we first started, I was trying to write down a million topics, and then trying to like segment them too. So I'd be like, oh, kid stuff, work stuff, KMS stuff, and I'd have them in like different lists or different bullet points separated. Okay. I think as we went on, I've fallen off a little bit in doing that. I actually wish I hadn't. I wish I would still be more prepared for it because there's times I go into the show and I've just either texted myself things like throughout the day or whatever, text to myself or go on the notes app and write it down, but not as like vigilant as I was doing before. And I think the more prepared you are, the better the show comes out. So I do kind of want to get back to that and get back in a actual schedule. We've fallen off with the schedule wise.
So you guys have been going kind of like every other week. Is that just the scheduling situation? And that's pretty much the only reason, huh?
We want to do it every week. It's just,
it's tough.
Like when Wednesday or Thursday comes up. And I got to say, shout out to John from Scranton, because every Wednesday he comes in that group chat. He's like, hey guys, like, what time are we going live tonight? What time?
Nice.
So every single week he is kind of trying to keep us honest with it. And then one of us might be like, oh shit, my kid this or my kid that, whatever.
So do you and Pat kind of talk behind the scenes, or is it kind of just, I know you guys probably conversate anyway, but like in general, do you talk about the show, kind of ideas back and forth, or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
A little bit. Yep. Like, I'd say either the day before or day of, I'll try to send him a list, or he's actually lately, he's been a little bit better at sending me a list. He'll send me like a screenshot of stuff he wants to talk about. So like, if I'm hosting, I want to make sure that I'm not just only talking about my stuff. So if he sends me the list he wants to talk about, I'll try to get to the
sweet
stuff that he's And
so actually, he's bringing stuff to the table, because I was wondering, because it seems like you're just like a natural host right now. You really run the show very well. I mean, Pat's really good too. I mean, he's one of my favorite guys. So I don't take too many shots at him, but you're the host and he's kind of just like the color guy, seems almost, right? I don't know if that analogy makes sense.
That's the way it's set up. And Kane, you always say you're always kind to me. You say nice things. So anyone who's in the middle of the Kane wrath right now, and you want to know how do I get on Kane's good side, all you got to do is on a random Tuesday, take him to a Chinese restaurant, have 3 beers with the guy, talk shop, and he will have your back. Moving
it was a great conversation. I remember that day. It went well. The people around us didn't know what we were talking about, but it was fun. So transition to something else. I'm not as good as you at this, but I'm going to cut you off. Did you go to Saco?
I did not go to Saco. Yeah. You weren't there either, right?
No, I couldn't do it. What is your take on the show overall? I found it pretty funny, as I know it was, I really want, I know the Jeff D-Lo video, which was excellent. That shocked me. I couldn't believe that was him. And he's a talented guy. I really thought that Justin video, we didn't get to see the whole thing, and I heard them on the producer show today. saying like, "Oh, the audio version, yeah, Justin," but we didn't see the whole video because in my opinion, that was going to be the funniest video of the night. I loved that video, and it didn't
thought the
finish.
Justin stuff was pretty funny.
Him and Ted. Ted is a natural, so it was just great.
I thought, well, good on them for putting it live on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
And it seemed like that was maybe like a last minute decision. So the fact that it was kind of last minute, they put it together really well. And I actually listened to the audio version only today, and the sound quality was great for like an actual live podcast. It sounded like they were in studio.
Wow, really? I haven't listened to that version.
I mean, Kirk, I think like hit the mic a couple times and that messed it up. But otherwise, like perfectly clear. I thought it was a funny show. I laughed out loud a couple times when they were talking about Diddy getting arrested. Out of nowhere, Justin pops in and he's like, "Yeah, he'll sing," and that just got me. I was laughing. Guy almost died. So there's a topic right there.
Justin was very worried because it ruined the momentum of his video. I caught that and I was like, "Oh boy!" And then obviously it was a serious situation, but I thought that was funny.
I mean,
what do you think about that Coleman video? Oh, geez.
So if we had to do a pro and con list, I'd say the pro was they threw it live on YouTube. Sound quality was great. Funny show. Cameo from Josh, which is huge.
That was great. Pneumonia and all, right?
Yeah, exactly. Pneumonia and all. I thought hearing Ted from the crowd was kind of funny because he's got such a distinct voice. So for me, a lot of pro. I mean, Cullinane wearing a winter hat and Kirk telling him he looked like Scrooge or whatever. That was pretty funny. I'd say coming back to your question about the video, cons are that it seems like other than the Jeff video, the videos fell a little bit flat.
Oh, definitely.
But can you convince yourself that there's content in that? Sure. My question to you is, for these Socko shows or the shows where it's not a big theater production, are the videos the way that they're laid out now? Are people getting fatigue on that sort of thing?
I mean, I think people are not. To me, the Socko show, I mean, the ones I've been to, it's more like a community thing. I don't take it as a production. I think I understand what you're saying. I mean, some of the videos at Socko have been great too. So I do like the videos. I think I know I've heard, I hear the haters and they're like, "Oh, it's terrible." Oh, it's like, but the show really is about kind of getting there. You're with the fans, you meet the guys, he walks around, he talks to you. For me, was the best part. Before I did any of this, just taking a picture with him, I was blown away. So for me, that part is kind of what Socko was. I know at the other ones, it's more of a production. I don't know. I didn't go to the first one in Boston. Where was that again? The Wilbur. The Wilbur.
I missed that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I went to the Portland show, which I really loved, and it was just a different feel. It was great, just different. And Socko just has me. I think it just should be more just like a show, just like they did it. I don't mind the videos. I thought it was perfect. I mean, I think that's a great environment. It's fun. I don't know how you couldn't.
I totally think that there should be a separation between the theatrical production ones and then the Socko ones. I mean, Kirk said as much. It's just it's a show projected on the screen. I think that's totally fine. I also think there's probably a difference of being there and seeing the videos versus just watching it on YouTube or listening on audio.
No question. I mean, I think that's the best part of it. I mean, it's like these people, you talk to them on the internet, whatever. It's like we're all there for the same reason. I find that to be really cool. And especially
that reason is to see Julie get absolutely fucking hammered.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Does anybody have any video? No video of this? I cannot believe it. I mean, she put out that very weird video today. I don't know if you saw that. I
didn't see it.
Jesus, Dave Cullinane fucking snaking her right in the back with that. It was brutal video. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking, because she must know that people are going to make fun of her. If I'll give her credit, maybe she's just like, fuck it, I don't care.
What was the video?
It was just like her thanking thanking Minifans, thanking Kirk, and it was like almost like she was like a hostage, like somebody had a gun to her head, and she had to say these things. And you gotta watch that producer show. I mean, Dave went all in, man. He took shots at Coleman. Goes after John and Scranton. Dave's on fire right now, taking out the enemies.
I saw the first 15 minutes of it, so I have to finish it.
That was great.
Your boy Menners said it was lackluster. He said they mailed it in.
What, the Socko show?
No. The producer show.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, the actual show itself was kind of just. I mean, it was like 28 minutes. I mean, guys on the network go double that every day. I don't know. They're professionals. I mean, 28-minute show seems kind of But I mean, it was fine. I enjoyed it, but it was pretty quick. So
yeah, I'm glad they did something. And something I was going to ask you about, so we might as well do it now. Are you let's say they don't do shows this week? Are you expecting more from the producers this week?
Expecting? No, I don't expect it. That'd be nice if they did. I just don't think. I think it's usually the same plan. They kind of just, I don't know. I don't know what their job is. So I couldn't really say 100% what they should or should not be doing. But Dave Cullinane and Justin Content it's not really something I would want to see 3 times for the week, unless they're doing other things. I'm not really sure. I mean, I really focus more on I enjoy Kirk's content, so I don't know.
They should drag Steve from Gloucester in there and just have.
Well, I was like that. If they could do something like that, that'd be fun. I don't know if Kirk would be okay with that, though. Huh? I don't know. It seems like I think that marriage is going to happen. So, I want to ask you something else too. I know because we're both from Warren. Kind of want to bring you on here. I'm trying to figure this Kane's Korner out. I'm going to bring people from the town. I got some other guy I'm thinking about bringing in who's an interesting character. So, but Providence right now has become the absolute worst fucking place to drive. And I go back and forth a couple times a week, see my mom at least once a week. But I want to talk about the I-95, 195 I-95 from there to Branch Ave. That literally has been under construction for like 10 years now.
Yeah, my entire life.
Are they ever going to fix this fucking situation in Providence? It is so awful. I don't know. You must drive through it all the time. I mean, how can you be not sick of this? You're driving through this every single day. It's always construction. Why is it never fixed? I'm just trying to figure this out.
I know it's just perpetual. I do. I'm on it. I am on it every day. Even if I don't, even if I leave early as fuck in the morning and kind of avoid it, I'm coming home around 5 o'clock. So I'm always coming home over the Washington Bridge. So I'm always going to get stuck in that traffic from the bridge construction. It's a mess. You said it right. It's the driving part is just a fucking disaster. It's like they're trying to turn it into one of these like everything's walkable. And
yeah,
that's fine for the people who live down near where that new Trader Joe's is or whatever.
Sure.
And I'm sure that's great if you're in the middle of the city and you work in the city, but otherwise it's not as bad, but it's reminiscent of Boston years ago.
Like they did all that work to like fix it, like on like they fixed 195 to 195 on the other side, but it's just not. I cannot get over the traffic in Providence. I'm still like, I guess they're gonna knock that other bridge down soon. Is that kind of like getting ready to be done?
How about not one place took the bid on that?
No, it's crazy.
That's fucked up.
And they're probably thinking they're gonna get paid, right? So I don't know. And the other part of it is too, these lanes are so tight. I don't know. They have, I noticed what you said on one of your shows. They have tow truck drivers just sitting there waiting, huh?
Yeah. They just expect it.
Weird.
Yeah. They set up a porta-john and a tow truck so the guy can sit there all day and go take his dump and then come back and watch his shit on his iPad.
It's like they're just waiting for disaster. Yeah. It's gotten so bad down there. It's I go down. I love the town I grew up in. That's why I brought John. I know you grew up there, right, John? You started there and then you moved away and came back, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Warren. First time I went away was for school. I went to school in Maine. So
okay,
in Portland actually. Came back for a little bit. Then we lived in my then girlfriend, now wife. We lived in Providence. Moved to Cranston, and then 2018 we bought in Warren again. It's where I want it to be. I love the East Bay.
Sure. What's your relationship with Burrs Hill Park? Does that mean anything to you as a Warrenite?
Absolutely. I'll tell you this, Kane.
Okay.
It's a fucking travesty that they let the baseball field get overgrown.
What the fuck, huh?
It's
just sad.
It's a disaster. That's where I think like my athletic ceiling was playing at Burrs Hill Park. Shortstop playing over there. So
really?
To me, seeing it all just overgrown, it doesn't even look like, you wouldn't even know it was a baseball field.
No, I know. They still got the cage. They still have the metal like the benches still there, or they're gone. But they have.
Well, the benches are there, but they were cement. They're all just like crumbling now.
What team did you play for in senior league?
So I played for I Shalom, the green team.
So did I. That's funny.
Yeah.
I Shalom guy. So did anybody ever hit it over the hill? The home run.
One kid, our catcher. Yeah.
Really? What was his name?
We called him Fro. Yeah, like a gigantic afro. Yeah.
Hit it over that hill, huh? That's a bomb, man.
Yeah,
it's a deep
shot. That is.
So that's we hung out there too. Same thing, kind of on the courts, up on the hill. Up there was where the the trouble was.
I was just gonna say, growing up, there was times like if I was out late and you go over to Burrs Hill, there was always like stuff going on the basketball court.
That's
like,
true.
Stuff that I like back, dude. Like this is gonna sound embarrassing, but I was like a little kid and I didn't know any better. So you'd see kids that like older kids, like I don't know how old they were. They were anywhere between like 18, I don't know, 17, 18 years old, but I was young, and I'd be like, if some kid was wearing blue or red, I'd be like, yeah, it's a blood, that's a crib.
How'd that feel? So for the suburbs, we put a bench up there for my brother because we hung out there so much. We actually put a tree inside the park. They got like an approval. We put his ashes in the tree and then put it right in the park. So yeah, that's where he wanted to be. So yeah, great memories there. Did you go to? Now this is something like I don't know. People in Massachusetts or all everywhere might not realize this. What a great deal this was. Did you ever go to the Warrentown parks in the summer?
Yeah, you mean like as a kid, were you part of one of the camps or whatever?
Yeah,
I feel like growing up, everybody was in one.
That's true. So which ones were there when you were there? Which ones were still alive?
So I went to the Child Street one.
Child Street, wow,
kind of like a struggle one. Burrs Hill or the beach. I don't know if it was
Burrs Hill. Yep.
And there was a Hugh Cole one. That was the big one, right?
Hugh Cole was one. Did you were there when they had Homestead too?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember that.
And J Meals.
Oh, J Meals, yeah. They've done actually a pretty decent job with J Meals.
Yeah, it looks good. But the craziest thing about that place, so my niece goes now in the summer, right? It's $350 for the whole summer. $350. That's 5 days a week for 7 weeks, from 9 to 3, and they feed you lunch.
So this is the first time I've ever even considered that it costs money to go there.
Really?
I guess that makes sense now. But like,
yeah, well, they want you,
Yeah, I thought my parents just fucking dumped me over there. We're like, oh, go have fun.
No, but it's so cheap. Like you go to a camp in Massachusetts, it's like $1,000 for the week. It's like it's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. It's like it's $350 for the whole summer. I'm like, yeah, wow, what a fucking deal that is.
Now, did you like it? I kind of at the time I didn't.
Really? You didn't play sports there? We had like we used to travel. We were like a travel wiffle ball team. We had stickball. You didn't play stickball there?
We played stuff, but think of Child Street though, and like what it looks like.
Oh, that's true. You had Child Street. That's different. Yeah. Forget that.
Yeah, it was kind of
that was kind of like actually we used to play them in ragdoll. Did you ever play ragdoll?
Which one was that?
It was like a soft ball that we used like with I don't know if it was like a stick or like something, and we used to play this. It was like a soft baseball, so nobody got hurt. I mean, things were different then.
We played a ton of wall ball. That was big.
Wall ball, yeah, that was fun. So also too, what Warren has gotten really big with the food. I mean, I think that's one thing. When we grew up, when I grew up, Warren Water Street was like the biggest fucking dump. It was so awful down there. I mean, that was where your parents said, don't go down there. For Warren, that was like the hood, What are your favorite spots now? Restaurants in Warren that you've been frequenting? Anything that stands out?
Warren popped for sure.
Did.
It absolutely popped. I don't even know if we've seen the peak of it yet.
I don't know.
I think it's still growing. I joke that when I was growing up, you're right. It was Bristol. Obviously, we could talk about Barrington after, but Bristol was always kind of where the nice restaurants were. Where if you were in college, you went downtown. And in Bristol, Warren was an afterthought. Now Warren is the place to be. Like no one.
So true.
I don't know anyone who hangs out in Bristol anymore. It's all about going out in Warren. The sleepers for me are Tavino and Admiral Pub.
Where's Admiral Pub? It's in Warren?
Yeah. Do you know where Tavino is?
Yeah.
It's like right. They like share the same parking lot.
Okay.
It's like a little hidden little pub. They don't advertise a lot, but they're good. And Tavino's to me best kept secret in Warren. But I get I go the regular. I like Square Peg. I like Chomp.
Square Peg's good.
Yeah.
Chomp is very good for the burgers. Really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, Kane, when did these people start getting away with $20 burgers though?
That's unbelievable. My mother was like, "You gotta try this place out." I'm like, "All right, I'll go over there." I could not believe it. Yeah, it was over $20 for a burger. I was just like, "Wow, what has happened?" It was delicious.
It's good though. That's the thing. Like I was having that conversation with my dad. And my dad hates spending money, but we looked at each other and like, I almost wish it wasn't this good so we'd have more shit to complain about.
Yeah, I know, it's true. And they moved from that little spot now. They got a nice spot in the water.
That place is beautiful.
You like that Blount seafood?
Yeah, we go there quite a bit because they'll do the
cheap there.
You're talking about the Clam Shack?
Yeah, the Clam Shack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good because they have live music. So when you bring the kids, they can kind of run around.
Yeah, that's fun.
Listen to the music. Yeah.
You like that? You know what I really liked? I was shocked. Was that like burrito place kind of near where Luke's Inn was over there? Have you been over there before? It's called like.
That's near where I live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baja.
Very good. Shit, I was shocked how good that was.
Yeah.
Much better than Chipotle.
I'm gonna toot my own horn right here. I'm pretty sure that I put Baja's there.
Really?
So, as you know, forever it was a KFC Taco Bell. Probably one of the worst KFC Taco Bells in the fucking nation.
Never went there. That's terrible.
You'd pull up to the drive-thru and look in the window. This guy's like rubbing his ass with the fucking tortillas. But they closed down, and I didn't know much about Baja's. There was one on Thayer Street. So we were young kids. Like when you were drunk, you went to Baja's.
Sure.
They were advertising that they were like looking for spots or whatever. So I took a picture of the rundown, like closed KFC, and I sent it to Baja's Instagram.
Wow.
They responded to me and they said, "Can you please send me this address?" So
I
sent them the address, and then sure enough, they opened up. They ended up inviting me to like their friends and family like opening and all this shit.
Is this a real story?
I swear to God.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great. Great addition. Good job.
Yeah, we had it the other night. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, it always looks so fresh in there. It was really good. But my favorite place is, I don't know what your relationship is with Rod's Grill, but that'd be a place I'd like to see Justin go and eat about 20 hot dogs if he could do it, right? He almost did the 2 full pizzas, which I still think was a bit at the end. He couldn't get that last bite. I don't know, but are you a Rod's Grill guy?
Yeah, you could bury me under Rod's Grill. Like yeah,
I know.
Would you say, food wise, would you put anything above that as the Warren staple?
No, just because, like, for me, like it's the whole picture. Like, the people literally have been working there since I was a little kid. Same fucking people. It blows my mind.
Yeah, Ray Rod.
Ray Rod, Diane. There's a couple of servers. Yep. We call them servers now.
Yeah.
They used to go there with terrible service. Like, you couldn't get good service, but the food was so good, didn't matter. But now it's like a little more modernized. You can actually use a credit card. That's happened. That's nice. But yes, out of all places, you got to get the Addy special in the rooms with the works, and it's the best. I know they call it all the way in Providence. Over here we call it with the works. So yeah, this is the best place overall, the best in Warren, I would say. I'm trying to think of something that's, well, I'll tell you, I don't know if you're a milkshake guy, but those coffee cabinets at the Lectus too. Is that a place that you frequented when you were younger also?
Definitely. Yeah. Grew up across the street from the Delectas.
People still pick up their medication there. That always blew my mind. I'm like, I couldn't put that together.
I heard that they were running that pharmacy without a pharmacy license for years. Have you ever heard anything like that?
Yeah, I could believe it because that just looked.
Let me bring this back to KMS for a second. We'll make it all.
Do it, man. Keep me in line here.
So the Delectas.
Yeah.
It all comes back to nipples, doesn't it?
Sure does.
He apparently found out somehow. Oh no, probably he just knew that I grew up in Warren. But he asked me if I knew the Delectas, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they were my neighbors growing up." And he said, "Oh, that's my cousin,
the owner."
So Nipples is cousins.
Oh, that's right, Nipples. He did say something to me at the basketball game. He said something about that. And, oh yeah, I know the guy. And I was like, "Wow, it is a small one. That's right. Wow, that's pretty." Fun.
Well, we got to take a minute to discuss the chat here. Memes. Hot dogs, milkshakes. Next question, John. Have you seen the restrooms? Insinuating memes is that Kane is running out of topics. Memes, let me tell you, we haven't even got started yet. Buckle in, buddy.
Fucking memes. What an asshole. He's been beating on me all day. He took a beating in the troll chat today by AKA Crowd Pleaser. So he's reeling. He's coming on 3 up, 3 down, hopefully this week.
Kane, do you think you mentioned the troll chat. Do you think you are mischaracterized as a hater of the show?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Kirk always says these things. Like, he's like, oh, it's, it's like, no, I'm not a hater of the show. I mean, I'm hated. Sure. But I do love the show, and that's all I really care about. I mean, those guys in those chats, I don't think they all hate the show. but there's just miserable people that are in there. So, half of them you can joke with, half of them you can't. We know Sneakers loves the show. He does the fake, he always hates it, but we know he loves the show. But I think there's actually people in there that hate it. I don't think I'm one of those guys, I've proven that, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to try to convince anybody. It is my personality. I mean, I'm not fluid and smooth like you. I'm just a little more,
But you want to mix it up on Twitter, though.
Like I know. I do.
You want to get dirty.
That's right. I'm addicted to it. I can't help it. So, yeah. What was the other thing I had here? Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the towns. Pound for pound, where do we stand on what the best town is of the three? Bristol, Barrington, Warren. It's always been the debate. You're biased. Gonna go with Warren.
Oh, I'm going Warren all day, dude.
Well, Bristol has a lot of good situations there too. You know what I mean?
Bristol's beautiful. We were there. I think it was yesterday, actually.
Guess who wants to come on? Uh-oh.
There we go.
Is he awake? Let's check his eyes when he gets in here. Oh, he looks great. It's Manners. Welcome,
hello, guys.
Hello, trying to help us out.
Manners, we would love to have you in Warren, Rhode Island at some point.
Oh, it'd be great. You would love it there.
Absolutely. I bet I would.
What's up?
I don't know. I haven't been watching. I was just doing recordings in StreamYard and I saw you guys were still live. So I thought I'd jump in. How's Kane's Corner going?
It's going fine. We were just kind of talking about the town. He's a Warren guy. I was saying with Bristol.
I kind of hate John.
You do?
Yeah, I just
Why?
hate Madrid. I just hate. I don't know.
It's the best show. It's the best show on the network.
Here's my response to that. Never meet your heroes.
Yeah. I think I hate Pat Moore. Anyway, I hate Pat Moore for what.
Had a nice day today, though. He started up some stuff. We might actually get a basketball game out of this. So, he had a good day.
Are you caught up, Manners, on the world of Twitter today?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll give us the take, the Steve from Gloucester take. Give us everything you got.
I mean, I think I went through it on the Australian Minifan show, and if you haven't heard it, I would go and listen to it. But Steve is a control freak. He's one of those people that, he's got some OCD and he wants to be in the world on his terms all the time. And as soon as it gets out of his control, he just loses the plot and runs away. And that's it. It's that simple. He just can't handle it. Obviously, you can't control what happens in this world. You put stuff out there and it gets taken and people run with it and they fuck with you and you've just got to take it on the chin.
Yeah, nice guy, but takes it way serious.
Isn't that the fun of it, though, to people to take it and run with it and you come back and engage and keep it going? I don't understand why he disappears so much. I just haven't figured that out. He's very sensitive. I love Steve, but he's very, very sensitive. He's got people that actually hate him. I don't understand. I don't understand the actual hate. He's actually a very sweet guy. I mean, he's really nice. So I don't know.
I have to take another minute. Though. So it is frustrating because Kane, this is why people hate him, because he spends the whole time waving his arms.
Yeah.
And then when he gets a little bit of attention, he runs away, he cries, he complains about what people says about him. So it's either, okay, Steve, I get it. And there's lots of people who don't want the attention and they float away like Patrick Ford, they just float away back into the peripheries and they enjoy from the sidelines. And
couldn't you use that same logic though to talk about Mick? I mean, he's no different.
Eat the microphone, Kane. Don't eat the microphone. You're eating.
I'm not listening to Andy Mayo. He said, put it more down. I'm talking into it wrong. So maybe I'll. But anyway, yes. Can't you use that same logic to say Mick does the exact same thing? And
I don't think Mick's the same though. Like Mick gets angry.
Is Mick around right now? Where's he?
He goes crazy, but he's not like, oh, don't talk about this, don't talk about that.
Unless he's internalizing it until he busts, though, because there is a little bit of Mick puts himself out there, and then every once in a while he does run away. Now, Steve will mix it up and respond to every single person's tweet. Like, this is serious. This is my mental health, blah, blah, blah. Mick's not necessarily going to do that. But for all we know, Mick does feel that way and then disappears and then comes back. I don't necessarily know if I believe that, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Also, we have to address the chat. Patrick Ford, John's my guy. I can't pass this one up. The collective median height of the panel right now is 5'1". Number one, that's hurtful. Being the tallest maybe true is huge, though. I will say I have, or the panel, I've never been the tallest guy in a room, so this is a big moment for me. Thank you both.
Patrick Ford's written, men is clamoring for that follow back. Now, I followed Pat, and bits aside, I feel sorry for Pat. Clearly, he's going through some mental stuff. Clearly, he's a fucking fruitcake. Clearly, he's going through depression. And okay, times I wanted to kill
he's
himself.
Going through stuff, and he's depression. But the fruitcake, yes. that's crossing the line.
Yes. At times I wanted to kill himself, yes, but generally, I hope he's doing okay. And bits aside, I think Pat and what John has done has been fantastic. Every week doing a drip show, people love it. Jamie said he liked it. Well, I don't know.
Every other week now.
Pat actually just sent me a DM. It says, "I am not a homo." Huh, interesting.
Okay. Fruitcake does not mean gay. It means loopy.
All right, let's get to what do we think about the show now going forward? You think it's going to end? I know Kirk has said if he gets the deal, he's going to be gone. Menners has offered his services to start a Patreon, maybe come in studio, maybe run KMS under the Menners brand, which would be awesome. But what do we really think it's going to end here? Because I think would be a real tragedy if he becomes a crime fucking crusader and runs around solving crimes and we don't get the show anymore. That'd be very disappointing. But what's your take, John?
This should be Menners audition week. Yeah, I don't know. We've heard this before. It seems like maybe the emails they're getting or the conversations they're having are a little more serious this time. But the show, until Kirk's done and disappears from the limelight completely, will never go away.
Yeah,
in one form or fashion.
Did you listen to the producers show today, Menners?
Yeah, very disappointing, but unsurprising. I mean, it was they put zero thought into it. It was a half-assed recap of a show. It was very little detail.
Like 28 minutes. I mean, we do a lot longer than that on these networks. It's pretty sad, right?
It was ridiculous.
And then the unprovoked shots. Dave is a fucking snake, and he takes shots at Julie. That video was very weird. They almost probably should have gave her mercy and not played it, but I know that's not going to happen. He took shots at John. He goes at Coleman, says he doesn't show up to the live show because he wanted to go to BC. If Dave, the weather was pretty bad in Saco, I could see Dave, if he wasn't working for the show, blowing off the show. So Dave is like anybody around him that is any kind of, somebody that could maybe get in the way of his job or anything. He just goes at him. He can't help himself. He just wants to take those people down and be all alone in the end. I think that's what he wants.
Yeah. Anybody who's a threat.
That's it.
Runs away from.
They alluded to Trouble in Paradise too, right? Between him and Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the rest of that video too. I mean, I know Justin said the rest of it was on audio, but I can't see audio, so it'd be nice to just catch the rest because that was a great video with him and Dead Sellers. So it looked like it was going to end really well, but we didn't get the end of it. So
yeah, the audio didn't land on the podcast feed for sure. But that Julie video was so bad. I mean,
it was awful.
It was awful.
Oh man.
It sort of sums up every reason why she shouldn't be on air. She should just be in the background. But yes, do you think Cullinane went too far with Julie, like laying into her?
It's so hard to say yes. Like it's like I understand, like it's a great video to put out there. You kind of almost have to do it, right? I mean, it was so bad. What was she thinking? I'd like to know what in her head she was trying to do there. I mean, I put out terrible videos, so I understand, but like it just came off like a hostage situation. She had a gun to her head or something. It was just very weird.
I didn't see the video. Was it just her? Like, did she do it herself, or was there some sort of like? Did she do it with Dave and Justin?
May I add, it was kind of a bad angle for her. She didn't look great either. It's not her usual.
She was more boring than normal as well.
Oh man. Yeah, it was interesting. I think he went too hard. I don't know. I think so a little bit. I mean, I saw a lot of people standing up for Julie, and I like Julie. I think she's good vibes, but he just kind of was just Cullinane. I mean, he also, he went at some people, and he never talks about his own performance. I mean, they half-ass half those videos. I mean, he should just, own his own stuff and come ready to go every single day. But we know Dave. He can't really completely trust the guy. I love him on the show. I do, but he's not somebody that I think is going to really put 100% effort in. So that's what you're going to get.
I'm a Cullinane guy, but I do have to say, like, people were right when they said, okay, Cullinane's in, and immediately you get John Pelletier. It was a little bit of that. Oh fuck, is he going back to the well this soon, like this early?
Awful take by Kirk too to say he was decent in there. He was not decent on the show. I don't care what anybody says. He wasn't good. And that thing he said about Steve's daughter was just fucking weird too. I mean, I know I could be weird. That was creepy weird. I mean, it was just like, that's a weird comment to make. I don't know. I just didn't like
take on that though. It was a weird comment, obviously. But are we gonna act like the pedophilia jokes haven't been a fucking run?
Exactly.
Like that's true. That's true.
Yeah, like they've been made about Justin all the time. Like I just think it was one of those times where Pelletier just didn't quite get it out right. He didn't quite land. You know, I don't think it was that wild when they, as you say, John, whenever a kid is brought up, they make a joke about Justin
every time, and it's been going on for years.
Yeah, but John, don't you think, like, if you're Cullinane and your first live show back is Socko, you know, it's Sarko, however you idiots say it, don't you think you'd put some effort in? Like, you'd make a couple of good videos, you'd actually do something ahead of time, whereas he did nothing. Like, he's hired back, he's given a third chance, Kirk, and then first live show just turns up with a fucking hat on and sat there like an idiot.
Dave cares about TikTok and Nurse Kim, and the show is like fifth. You know what I mean? That's just who he is. It's always, he's going to be this guy. I don't think it's going to change either. He should just, like you said, I heard you say, he should just deal with the case and get another producer to do the show that's going to give a fuck.
I think he should have had a video from his boys at TMZ. That would have went a long way. Get Harvey up there to say a couple words.
He could have done anything. He could have done something funny, even, you know, something with Karen Reid or something with Nurse, whatever her face was.
He brought nothing, which was, I mean, I guess I would say I'm shocked, but how could you be? I mean, it's just kind of his way. But, and I like Dave, but man, I don't think it's off to the greatest start like people think it is here. I don't know.
The hat might have saved him. I took one look at him in that winter hat, and I was like, okay, this is something else. It's September. It's like, I'm pretty sure when the show went live, it was still summer, technically.
John, I'm just checking my junk emails and my sort of Twitter messages that don't come through, and there's still no invite to Drips in the Office. It's really weird. Like, I don't know where it's gone.
You're not a big enough star to get on there. Like, you got to be like, you know, Suda, or you got to be Mutt or Blind Mike, or you're not getting on that show. So
yeah,
you know, so that's how it is. You're not a big enough star yet.
Clearly. Listen, if you can convince your good friend Patrick Ford, then
that's it.
You can.
That's a gatekeeper, you know. Let's whoever he wants on. It's there, right?
I will say there have been conversations with Mayo. We are in talks.
Well, he's a big get. He's a very big get.
Mayo's committed to 3 Up 3 Down. I mean, he did tell me to smother my kids, but listen, we're gonna bring him on, and he finally agreed to come on. So that's exciting.
Freddie Lynn Cully is meeting the low expectations set out for him. Freddie Lynn, sneaky Cully hater.
Freddie Lynn's a fucking little diva too. He bailed out of the show today, last second. This guy bails out of shows left and right. Jesus, Freddie, come on,
Freddie Lynn's a friend.
Any questions out there for the chat? Anything you guys want to ask in the chat? We can answer a few questions, and we're gonna get John out of here because he's got to go to bed.
Indeed. Did you go to Socko, John?
No. I went to a lesbian wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. A good old-fashioned clam bake. It was a fish fry.
I thought Pat was already married.
Yeah. I'll take it. Not bad.
I see much coming in.
Questions are just flying in from the chat.
Sad.
Oh, we got a new show on the network. The Unrelated Show. We had Jackson, who, by the way, Jackson flying up the charts for me is one of my favorite Minifans. And then Tim Smith made his big appearance on the network. No camera. He used Dr. Vodka style, but
he seems like a totally normal, simple guy, right? Jesus Christ. I wanted to get him on because he seems like an interesting get. That was a good show. Guy. I enjoyed it. Okay. Went all over the place. I don't know if they ever answered any questions or got anywhere, but it was, you know, entertaining. The Aussie Minifan show was very good too. That guy Jamie, I like him. I don't think I've heard him much at all. He's not on too much, huh?
He hasn't been on for a while. He used to be on
All right.
Meeting in the Minds a lot. He used to be on the Aussie Minifan show, Mike and the Minifans. But we're going to try and do more of them because, as I said, we can actually record on our time zone, which makes it easier.
I heard good things about that show. I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it.
Jamie is a big fan of the Drips in the Office. Big fan.
So without even seeing it, I'll tell you what, that was a great show you guys did.
It was good. Any questions? Let's see. Kane also has been rejected by Rob. No, see, Rob DeMarco has I don't know if you've seen it, shitting on the bets on the shitter or whatever. It's on the Beanbag Ron Network. It's the worst show to mankind. It's terrible. I like Rob, but it's just him taking a shit and making a bet. I don't really know where it's gonna go. I don't think anybody's gonna pick it up. I don't know. He said he's getting a lot of views somewhere else, but it's a very bad show. So we're not gonna, worry about that show. But I asked him to come on to 3 Up, 3 Down, but he's another one that's like, yeah, I'll go on, and just he just doesn't go on. So anyway,
who's your next guest?
I actually have a kid from Warren. He had some, let's just say, some run-ins with the law, and he's got some interesting opinions. So I got to talk to him first because I want to make sure it's gonna make sense. But we'll see.
John, did you answer the claims? I don't know if you've been through this, but who was the first guest you had on? Your friend Kane?
Oh, I don't even remember what the name he used.
Didn't he call out John? Didn't he call out John that he knew him as a person around town? Isn't that
he knew him? Yeah, I had to show him a picture of him, but I think they knew him in the somehow.
I know. Yeah, I know his. So I know his two younger brothers
brother or something. Yeah,
great family.
Yeah, great kids.
This is not a great story, but I'll tell it anyway. The first time I met that guy, I know his name. I don't know if he wants his name out there. I was working for the town of Warren as someone who would ride on the back of the truck. It was a trash truck, but you would go around picking up leaf bags. Is that a thing in Australia, by the way, Manners? Like,
what?
Do you pick up leaf bags, or like they call them refuge bags?
You guys even get season changes, or
we have bins for that, and yes, people go around and pick them up. I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah, so that would be my job. But the first time I met that guy that you had on, I told him that's what my job was, and he told me, he said, "Oh, I can't believe that's your job." Whatever. He said, "I'm gonna roll a joint and I'm gonna tape it to this leaf bag, so when you come by to pick up my bag, you can untape the joint, and there you go, you get a free joint." I was so excited that week to get to his house and get his lawn bag. And I got there, and sure enough, there was a leaf bag there, and there was no joint waiting for me on that leaf bag. And I've never forgotten that. I've never forgotten it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, interesting guy. Good town, good people. I don't see too many more questions. I don't know if you guys have anything else to talk about, but
no, I just wanted to jump on and say good day to John. Say good day to yourself.
Thank you, Manners.
See you, Manners.
Love you, buddy.
Kane, I was hoping that every time lately you've got on one of these shows, you spill some story that some wild case of I don't know, sexual deviancy. I was hoping I could get one out of you tonight.
I would try to give you one, but I mean, there's a girl sitting here watching me do the show right now, so I don't want to go too stupid. I got a few more in the holster, a few more good ones that I will reveal, but not tonight. I don't think. I don't want to ruin any potential.
Kane's always got a girl around him. You're not Pat. You see that?
What about? Yeah, I'm gonna bring around Pat. See, this is the thing with Pat. You're always trying to get me in trouble. What'd you think about the Mama K interview in general? I know I took some heat from Dr. Vodka, who said it was terrible, but did you enjoy that story from Mama K? Because I mean, I loved it.
I got to give you credit. You were smart to bring her on.
I was.
I mean, your cuts basically carried the show the next day. I thought
it did. It was good.
You get to do the whole. It's the best when Kirk, and I've talked to Pat about this before. Some people fucking hate when Kirk does the thing where you've got a 30-second clip and he's stopping it every 10 seconds and turns it into an hour. You kind of got that a little bit.
That's true.
They were chopping up the Mama K sound. So credit to you on that. Yeah, it's people who were trying to reason with her when they said everyone has their own 9/11 story. I think Quidditch guy said that on Mike and the Minifans. He's right. You are right. But
that's true.
When they're a little out there like that, that's maybe something you keep to yourself, and you definitely don't put it on your Facebook. I'll say that.
It's crazy. I find her very interesting. She's for being a woman that's, I would say, less sensitive than 80% of the people that are over here. I mean, she can take
takes a lot of shit.
She does, and she's great. I think she's very playful and fun, and she's odd.
Stephen Gloucester could take a.
She's got a lot of money. She lives in Barrington. I don't know. Well, she lives off that Maple Street, so it's not that great. I guess she's right. I'm not gonna keep going down that road, but so John, I want to let you go. Unless there's some more questions. Of course, there's not. Just people talking a lot of shit, but
memes, plot twist. Nobody is with him. It's a possibility.
Memes, it's true. It's true. I mean, memes is just he's a guy that sometimes he's a very, very sweet guy. First off, he comes off really hard, that hard exterior, but deep inside him, he's a great guy. I mean, if Montante says, gives him the seal of approval, then I got to say, he must be a good guy. I mean, he lets him sleep over there. We don't know what they do. I think they probably at night, maybe, snuggle and cuddle each other, but he is underneath it a very good guy. He the people wanted to put my address out there. He tried to stop it. I appreciate that, memes. I know when you're in that troll chat, you got to be tough. You got to play your part. You got smoked today by AKA crowd pleaser. It was embarrassing. He put you down so hard, and we're gonna bring him on. You can come on too, Keith Memes, anytime you want. I would bring you on anytime. I never see you on air. All you do is you lose an argument, and then you're like, I'm gonna kick your ass. That means you lost the argument, So I mean, you're welcome on anytime. But yes. He's a sweet guy, and I love him. So I love that chat. I'm growing to love these guys. I don't. So I want to ask you a question before we go. If I said to you, do you know who Manny is? Does that ring a bell to you at all?
Steve from Providence?
Fuck.
I saw the chatter on Twitter. I'm not. I was actually going to ask you about that. I was going to say, will you address the rumors that you're not a real fan or you haven't been listening for a long time?
They just keep mentioning the chat, Manny. It just never clicked. Then when they said it was him, I'm like, I do remember that, but I don't know. I thought that was a little, I don't think everybody knows that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I wouldn't have remembered. I couldn't tell if Mayo was trolling when he said he wouldn't have remembered Mick's mom's name. That one put credit to Mayo. That one put me in a blender. I was like, is he trolling or is he not trolling?
Mayo's a fucking liar. There's no fucking way. He watches a show every day, right? If you watch that show every day, we know Pat Gilroy doesn't now, but if you watch it every day, you would know that. You would know. He says Mick Marks a million times. Jen Marks, Mick Marks, cousin Christian. These guys. So
if someone answered that and said Linda Marks, I'd almost let it slide.
How
many marks can you keep? We might have to address this too before we go. Freddie Lynn, where are the lost trivia questions, Kane? Another lie.
Hey, he won't let that go. I'm gonna have to dig it out for you because you want to do some trivia, Freddie. Because I know you're a great fan. I know. Finally, and thank you. You took my advice, Freddie. Instead of having your name Rob on Twitter, you made it Freddie Lynn, which is a lot more helpful now. I can find you. So like Freddie Lynn, they actually said in the show, it's just some guy, Rob. It's like, this guy's been around forever. They don't even know who he was, but he changed his name. We'll bring him on. He's coming on this week, 3 Up, 3 Down. So it's exciting. Me, him. Ned Snark bailed. No, I'm just kidding. I made a mistake. I was going to have those guys with Ned Snark, but he's going to be on the next week, Ned Snark. So this week it should be AKA Crowd Pleaser and Freddie Lynn and me, and then PRC will be back next week. Hopefully we'll get Mayo in because he said to me, this is what the kind of asshole this guy is. My own show. He's demanding that it's me and PRC only. That's it. Can't be anybody else. Like, this guy's got some fucking balls, huh? Imagine.
Interesting. I wonder why. Maybe he's got some pre-written stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He was his last appearance. I thought was pretty good. I know he got killed. I got hate mail because of it. They're like, you're so stupid. How could you think this? I don't know. I like him. So I thought he had a decent episode. He always is, he definitely says things that you're going to be like, holy fuck. I mean, he told me to smother my kids. He's a weird guy. Didn't he say something to you when you first went in and were with him? Like, go kill yourself? Or
I've come to find that pretty funny. But he DM'd me the night before the show and he said, kill yourself. Which is, looking back, it is funny.
It's the kind of stuff he said, just crazy stuff. So, Kane, last question. If you had to fucking animals, which animal would you, if you fucking animals, come on, Pat, Which animal would you choose and why? I don't know, but you ever hear? There's a lot of those stories with the goats. And Ray Morris, you ever meet that guy?
No.
He's the Warrentown guy that had the goats. So maybe it'll be a goat, Pat. I doubt it. I'll let you figure it out and you decide and let me know, and we'll go from there.
And Pat will reveal his top 3 animals on drips this week.
So you're gonna have a show this week for sure.
I certainly hope so.
All right. Excellent. John, thank you for coming on. It's getting late. 55
Thanks for having me
here. I appreciate it. We'll get you out. Thank you so much, John. John and Warren. If anybody has any more questions, we'll ask them now. This is it. I'm getting out of here. Let's see. Not much. Bunch of nothing. Let's see. Another boring question from that guy. Anything good? Jesus. A lot of memes. This guy loves me, man. Leave me alone, memes. All right. We're going to get out of here. It's another episode done. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. I know you came for John. John's a good guy. Grew up in the same town. If you didn't know, now you know. It's a great little town, great food, great environment. Come by, go to Warren, enjoy the town. Next week, we're going to have a guy on that we're just going to tell you he's got some crazy opinions. He did a lot of time in prison, robbing banks, stuff like that. Shot dope for 20 years. I find him to be I'm going to call him. He's a racist. Hopefully we can come to some conclusion where we're not, making it where we can't even air it. But he's a character. I think it'll be a good interview. I'm going to bring him on. I got some more plans. Enjoy the night.